I was very, very young, and I'll tell you what happened. Okay, I was actually 10 years old, and I had a friend. She was like a sister. We were like sister and brother, and we're still friends. We're sort of still friends. Anyway, and she was. We were at my house, and it's in the summer, and my mom was gone, and we got back from swimming, and we came in the house, and she like pulled me to her and started like fondling me and everything else, and so she pulled me down to my bunk bed, the bottom bunk, and on top of her, and she obviously, well, first of all, she was molested. I don't want to tell that part, but she was, and that's why she was so over-sexualized for that age. But anyway, she pushes me down towards that neighborhood, and, it was not a pleasant experience. But the funny thing is, the whole time, I'm cracking up. I'm laughing my ass off, and she's, like, really totally serious. She's like, kiss me, or whatever. And I'm, like, cracking up, like, like I can't even, like, breathe. I'm laughing so hard. And she pushes me off. She gets pissed off and pushes me off and storms off because I wasn't totally not into it. So to me, the whole idea was just hilarious, the whole idea of pussy or anything. And, I was never interested in it, not then, not now. So that was my experience.
That was an oral vagina rape attempt. Hey, yeah, guys. I heard you talking about lesbians earlier, and I did listen to yesterday's show. I just wanted to give a lesbian recap for the straight guys.
Okay, go ahead.
And I also want to say, okay, well, I'll just do the recap. So when you guys is it Angry Jew and Andre on the line?
Angry Jew and Prophet Andre, yeah. One Angry Jew and Prophet Andre on the line right now.
I've always been on the line with a black guy, a gay guy, and a Jewish guy. Okay, so anyway, guys, this is what you missed. There were these, there was a lesbian, and she went into explicit detail about how they got each other off.
Yeah, she did.
It's idealistic. Now there are certain, and the only questions when you're talking about any of this kind of stuff, my friend, is whether I agree with gay marriage or not isn't the point as far as the discussion that you asked. It's a question of where you draw that line.
I told you where you draw the line.
Therefore, in America, we're, at least to some degree, we're republic, democracy, whatever, majority rules. The majority doesn't want it. Is that fair?
Not when it comes to civil rights. It doesn't matter what your moral views are. It doesn't matter what your moral views are when it comes to civil liberties, because the legality of civil liberties trumps whatever your religious beliefs are, whatever your moral beliefs are.
Your morality, you have to be willing to respect theirs.
No, I don't. Not if it infringes upon my rights. I don't.
I expect people to respect yours.
If I infringed upon their rights, if you've given me an actual concrete example where my marriage to another man really infringes upon their rights, and not their morality, not their morality,
they should have the right to not live in a city.
Then I would understand. There's been nothing you've said to me.
There are some people that believe that it's their right to.
It's a belief, though.
What they consider a person in society to not live in a city that has a legally gay married couple.
It's their belief. That's what I'm saying to you. It's their belief. It's their belief. It's not a fact, and there's a difference there, especially when it comes to the legality of the situation. We're talking, you're talking about morality, and that's fine. I get it, and I understand what you're saying, and morality is fine. But just like religion, morality is opinion. Morality is opinion, and so that's why the law should be dispassionate, and it is dispassionate. And that's why the law is here to protect people from other people's moralities, other people's ideas.
It's not a question of law. It's a question of your morality, whether you believe. It's a cultural thing. Cultural things are morality things. They're not legal.
I don't debate that. I never debated it wasn't a moral thing. I've been saying it the whole time. It's a moral thing.
And what the argument some people would have is the fact that, if you allow homosexuals to get married, it opens a floodgate. In other words, you get these 50-year-old men that, frankly, are perverts, in my opinion, that want to marry a 13-year-old that makes it legal. Well, if gays can get married because it's just that we shouldn't legislate our morality, well, my morality says it's okay because by Jewish law, a 13-year adult, so I should be able to marry a 13-year-old.
Right. That's so ridiculous because
it's not that crazy.
Without
it's not that
any
crazy.
merit. That's without any merit based on anything, because if the argument were true, wouldn't it have already happened in the countries where they formed legalized gay marriage, like Scandinavia, et cetera, where people were going to be having incestual marriages or bestiality
but there are some
marriages?
people that are just as strongly against homosexuality as a male marrying a female.
No, but your whole point was the whole slippery slope argument. Your whole point was the whole slippery slope argument, that if gay people get married, then these other things are going to happen. Well, that's not true, because it's been proven in other countries where gay marriage has existed for many years that no such legalization of those kind of things has occurred. Like, people are not marrying their pets, people are not marrying kids, people are not, you know what I mean? So that's not true. It's just fallacy.
And by the way, I just want to point out.
So that's a few more clips on gay stuff. There's more to come in just a minute, but I wanted to say, as you've noticed, there's a pattern here. We've got a lot of callers over the past 200 episodes that are saying pretty much the same arguments, and I keep hearing the same things every time somebody calls into my show and want to debate me on the merits of homosexuality or religion or atheism or or bigotry, racism, whatever. And so it is certainly something that you hear a lot on Blog Talk Radio, from Blog Talk Radio callers, or from people who call into my show from other areas as well. But there's a couple more I want you to listen to. There's a lot of talk about sin, of course, when I get called. But after I play next couple of clips, I want to play some really hilarious exchanges about anal sex, gay men and anal sex, and straight men and anal sex. It's pretty funny. Play that in a minute, but first play these last two clips about callers and their feeling about sin, gays and children, and also a letter from a father that I read to you on the air, a short portion of it. Be right back.
Sexuals, if I may use that, or I can say gay, whatever, the most being as sensitive as I possibly can, because we're taught at my church to love homosexuals or gay people, love them like you do your children, but hate the sin. In the end, sin is going to rob this planet. It's going to take us backwards.
Okay, wait a second. Before you continue, I'm just going to mute you for a second. So obviously, I have to respond to that, because the arguments you're making are, I'll let you speak in a second, by the way. I'll unmute you in a minute. But the arguments you're making are the same arguments I hear all the time from the same people, okay? From people who are quote-unquote Christian, who are constantly saying that it's to love the sinner and hate the sin and all that nonsense. Well, first of all, to have sin, one must believe in your religion. That's the first thing. You may call it a sin or whatever, but I am not a Christian. So my moral code, even though it may be very similar to your own, it is not dictated by some book that was written thousands of years ago by some other people who have nothing to do with today, but that's a whole other show. My point is that you are saying that I'm sinning. You're judging me. You're judging me or my morality based on what you yourself were taught by your religion, by your pastors, your preachers, your parents, whatever has been passed down to you through time. So that's what you are judging me based on. It is not any of your concern or any of your business what I do in my life, because first of all, I don't know you, and second of all, my life is mine to live. And there's nothing sinful about my life, any more sinful than it is about yours. And I don't believe in sin. Sin is a man-made phenomenon, just like religion is a man-made phenomenon. So if you want to call that being gay is sinful, and you want to say that you, being a Christian, love us and all this kind of stuff, but hate the sin, well, that's absolute nonsense. Because you know why? My people, if you want to call it that, the gays, we gay people, don't go to your church. We don't go outside your churches or outside your funerals or outside your homes and say you're going to hell or you're evil or you're a horrible person and you should die and you don't deserve the same rights that we have. And you may say when I bring you back on the air that your church doesn't do that or that you don't do that. But the reality is you are associated with Christians, okay? So you are a Christian, I assume. So if that's the case, your people are doing this to my people. And so if you don't find anything oppressive or wrong about that, if you don't find anything absolutely evil, actually is the word I would use, about that kind of behavior towards people of my kind, then I don't really find you to be being honest with me. When I bring you back on the air, if you can honestly say to me that you, as a Christian, have never called a gay person a faggot to their face or under your breath or to someone in your family or to a friend, or referred to a gay person as a faggot, or said that gays should die, or gays are disgusting to you, or gays, or anything along those lines, because it's really all the same, then I would be shocked. Because if that's the case, then you really have no leg to stand on in terms of your argument, because the truth is that there's no reason for you to dislike us. And I'm going to bring you back on. You're going to say, I don't hate gay people. I don't hate gay people. That's what you guys always say. We don't hate gays. I don't hate anybody. That's what you're going to say. Because, see, I know how it goes because, see, I've heard this all of my life. So I'm going to bring you back on now, but I want you to be honest with me and not just say what I've heard over and over and over again. You don't have to sugarcoat it. Trust me, I can handle it. I've heard everything. So just say what you really feel, and don't worry about being politically correct. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you took that very personal. I never said one single thing about you, per se. We're talking about sin. Has absolutely, positively nothing to do with you. Now,
yes, it does.
Now, hold on a second. Please let me finish. And you don't have to put me on hold, because when you go to talk, I'm gonna step down and let you. I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna be quiet and let you speak. So, yes, you're right. I'm gonna say I love you. And if you've heard it 1,000 times, then so what? What does that mean? Because you heard it 1,000 times, it's not true or something? First of all,
actions speak louder than words. You should know that. Wouldn't you agree? I can sit here and say to you anything. I can say whatever I want. I can say the sky is green. Is it true? No. I can say it 1,000,000 times, and you'd hear it 1,000,000 times. Does that make it true? No. So just because people, Christians, say they love gay people so much and they want to save gay people, doesn't mean it's true. That's what they're supposed to say.
What I'm saying is this. Say your name again.
My name's... Okay, so just a little sampling of some of the shit I have to deal with on my show in, day out. So next one is a 2-minute clip, short clip, from a show I did called Sins of My Father. And my father and I have never been very close because he's never accepted me as I'm gay. And even though he didn't know that I was gay until I came out to him a few years ago, because I didn't get in touch with him or anything. So when I did come out to him, he, of course, responded exactly the way I thought he would, by actually being a complete self-absorbed religious zealot nut job, basically, because he is now a preacher at a church. So there's a 2-minute clip from a letter I'm reading that he had written back to me in response to when I came out to him a couple of years ago. Before that, though, I'd been out to everybody else in the entire world, just not him, because we didn't stay in touch. But here you go. I believe that you could have been more successful even if I had been in your life. Not saying that to be mean. I am happy for you and all of your accomplishments you've made. Without God in your life, you can gain the whole world and lose your soul. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I may not have all the degrees that you have, but I got Jesus, and that's enough. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. There is many religions out there, but there ain't but one Christianity, and that is John 3:16, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. First of all, you already know you are a man because you said in your letter you are a man. You said you grew up to be more man than I am, so therefore you know you are a man. In the beginning, God created man and woman, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, nor Eve and Louise. This is the work of the devil. The reason I say this is because the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and right now you are letting the devil destroy man by not having children with a woman, and that is destroying the seed of man, and that is the devil's job to do just that if you allow it. There is no comparison to me and your mom's marriages versus the lifestyle you have chosen for yourself. It cannot be compared because I am a man and your mom is a woman, and so therefore, again, can't compare it to your life at all. You said you don't believe in the Bible, but if you own one, go to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, says, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind is an abomination." Also, Romans 1, verses 24 through 27. Also, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 through 10. After saying all of this, God is a forgiving God. Just like he forgave all other sins, he will forgive the